Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. We are the Group 7 of BSEE 4206, and today we are excited to address a pressing concerns in the field of electrical engineering, the overcrowding of electrical rooms. I am Mr. Alayon Jan V, and joining me in these presentations are my talented groupmates, Mr. Cabatay Roi Gerard, Miss Sonido Karen Jane, Mr. Manalo Danilo, and Mr. Naval Lemuel Jan. So we are excited to share our research and recommendations with you today. So without further ado, let's delve into the worlds of overcrowding in electrical rooms and explore how we can overcome these challenges for a safer and more efficient electrical infrastructure. In our modern society, the reliance in electrical and electronic equipment has become indispensable for countless companies and organizations. So, these advanced devices and systems enable businesses to operate efficiently and effectively, facilitating productivity and growth. And however, it is essential to recognize that without proper maintenance and care, accidents, harm, and interruptions can potentially arise, posing significant risk to operations. And therefore, it is crucial to delve into the importance of maintaining EE and understanding the multitude of benefits it brings to both the businesses and individuals. And now, let's try to explore why maintaining EE is crucial and what is the benefits it brings. So, firstly, ensuring the safety of your business, customers, employees, or tenants is paramount by preventing electrical hazards such as shocks, fires, or explosions. You can create a secure environment. And secondly, proper maintenance optimizes the performance of your electric systems and appliances. This leads to improved efficiency, reduced energy consumptions, and cost savings. And thirdly, maintaining electrical and electronic equipment extends the lifespan of your equipment and machinery, saving you from costly repairs or replacement. And lastly, compliance with legislative and regulatory requirements for electrical safety and performance is essential. By adhering to these standards, we ensure the legal operations, integrity of our organizations. One crucial aspect of electrical and electronic equipment's maintenance is assuring that electrical rooms are adequately sized and well ventilated. So overcrowding in these rooms poses various risks, including increased fire hazards, reduced airflow leading to device failure and overheating, difficulties in accessing and maintaining equipment, and an elevated danger for electric shock. The purpose of this case study is to delve into the issue of the overcrowding in electrical rooms and explore potential solutions. So our investigations will focus on several key areas. So first, we will examine the causes of overcrowding in electrical rooms, seeking to understand why this problem arises. And next, we will explore the hazards associated with overcrowding, emphasizing the potential risk to safety and reliability. And furthermore, we will investigate the impact of overcrowding on the overall safety and reliability of the electrical systems. And lastly, we will propose potential solutions to address the problem of overcrowding, aiming to provide practical and effective remedies. The main research questions of the study centers around the effects of overcrowding in electrical rooms on safety and reliability. So, by conducting this case study, we expect to achieve several important outcomes. So first, an improved understanding of the reasons behind overcrowding in electrical rooms and the associated risk. And second, we will have review to the effects of the overcrowding and security and dependability, highlighting these consequences it can have. And third, we will identify viable solutions to address the issue of the overcrowding, offering practical recommendations for improvements. And lastly, the conclusions of this case study will be a great interest to businesses and organizations that operate electrical rooms. And additionally, government organizations and authorities responsible for the maintaining the security of electrical equipment will find the results valuable.
So I will now discuss to you the review of related literatures for the topic of overcrowding of electrical rooms. According to Austin 2023, here are the following causes. First is the overprovision of equipment. When equipment is added to an electrical room without considering the limited space, overcrowding might occur. Second is the bad planning and design. A poorly built electrical room might not have enough room for all the required installation equipment. Third is the poor maintenance. Inadequate maintenance of electrical equipment can cause it to deteriorate or become outdated, which can increase overload. Lastly is the alterations in how EE rooms are used. An EE room could not have enough area for the additional equipment or activities if it is utilized for a purpose other than what it was intended for. On the other hand, based on OSHA 2008, here are the following hazards of overcrowding of electrical rooms. First, overcrowding increases the risk of fire. Second, overcrowding reduces air circulation in the room. Third, overcrowding causes difficulty in accessing and maintaining equipment. And lastly, overcrowding increased risk of electrical shock. So for the last part of the review of related literatures for the topic of overcrowding of electrical rooms, here are some of the recommendations provided by the NEC or the National Electrical Code. First is the sizing of electrical rooms appropriately. The size of an electrical room should be based on the amount of equipment that will be installed in the room. Second, planning and designing electrical rooms carefully. The electrical room should be designed in a way that allows for easy access to all of the equipment. Third, maintaining electrical rooms regularly. This will help to prevent equipment from becoming damaged or obsolete, which can lead to overcrowding. Fourth and last is the making changes to the use of electrical rooms in a safe and controlled manner. This will help prevent overcrowding from occurring due to changes in the use of the room. By following these recommendations, businesses and organizations can help to prevent overcrowding in electrical rooms and reduce the risks of electrical fires, injuries, and even death.
So let's talk about the methodology. The methodology of this case study is based on the literature review of legal books of standards on overcrowding in electrical rooms. The following sources were used. First, the National Electrical Codes or ANC 2020, the National Fire Protection Association on 2020. So the National Electrical Codes does have the standard for the maximum amount of wire allowed in wiring space of panel. They cannot occupy more than 40% of the space cross-section, and the total of wires and tops cannot exceed 75%. Unfortunately, the problem is often not so much the cross-sectional areas as the organization of the wiring in the panel. Second one is the occupational safety and health administration, the electrical safety in workplace on 2022. So based on this, the thing that we need to know is never leave electrical tools or equipment unattended. Turn them off when not in use, and then overload socket, outlets or codes and cable immediately. Ensure your workplace is dry and clean. And the third one is the American Society of Mechanical Engineers. The overcrowding in electrical rooms is a study of the causes and hazards on 2019. And the last one, the National Fire Protection Association with the overcrowding in electrical rooms as case study on 2017. The goal of the literature review was to pinpoint the factors that contribute to overcrowding in electrical rooms, the danger that comes with it, and the preventative measure that may be taken. And also, the result of the literature review were utilized to create a case study of the overcrowded electrical room. Then the case study was used to demonstrate the risk of overcrowding as well as the measure that may be taken to prevent it.
In the next section, we will be having our discussion. Hello, hello, hello. I hope you are still there, so please bear with me. To begin our discussion, the findings of the literature review and the case study, as discussed in the earlier part of this video, showed that overcrowding in electrical rooms can create a number of hazards, including A. Increased fire risk, because there are more potential for dangers to arise due to overcrowding. The risk of fire might increase. This is because crowded conditions can result in overheating. Crowded conditions can restrict airflow, which serves as insulation. Like from the analogy of our laptop placed on a stand fan, having air cooling fans, it prevents our device from heating up. As we know, heat is the major enemy in our electrical engineering field, which is it is very bad for our equipment or device to be heated for a long period of time. That is why in the summer season, there are many cases of power interruption due to unsustainable supply, which causes the major power losses because of this heat. So this is just the same concept in this overheating. Thus, without the proper airflow, it can cause electrical equipment to overheat, resulting for this equipment to be damaged and an increased danger of fire. Next, two conductors coming in touch with one another can cause electrical discharge known as arcing. Arcing can produce sparks, which can light fire and ignite combustible substances. This may rarely occur, but it is an extremely dangerous case, since if it is overcrowded, the chances of arcing is also increased. Thus, we must keep in mind of that. Next, short circuits. A quick refresher, a short circuit is when there is a low resistance connection between two conductors supplying electrical power to a circuit. In layman's term, it happens when two wires had stick together, which they shouldn't supposed to be. When that happens, heat will build up there, resulting to a short circuit. As you can see on the photo below, the wiring is a very big mistake. No, you shouldn't follow that type of twisting the wires. Thus, these short circuits can result in fires, overheating, and damage to electrical equipment. If the place is overcrowded, this might happen in the lots of wires connected there. Thus, we must also keep in mind of that, and we must plan of a cleaner wiring connection so that it won't look like in the picture shown here. Next is the reduced air circulation. As mentioned previously, in congested electrical rooms, crowding can sometimes be a concern. This is because crowded conditions can obstruct airflow, which can cause electrical equipment to overheat and raise the possibility of a fire. So that's it. Also, the other one is access and maintenance challenges. There will be also concerns about maintenance. This is due to the fact that crowded conditions can make it challenging to maintain and repair electrical equipment. This might make electrical equipment failure and fire more likely. In my previous OJT at an air conditioning services company, when we are installing the outdoor unit of a split-type aircon, we always consider its location of installation wherein it can be cleaned, checked up, and repaired well in that location. As in this case, if it's overcrowded, it will be a real struggle for us to do maintenance in our equipment. Last but not the least, an increase in the danger of electrical shock. This is because there is a greater chance that someone will come into touch with electrically powered equipment in a narrow and crowded space, and electrical shock can result in fatalities or severe injuries. So we must be mindful of what we touch, and overcrowding is not really recommended in our electrical space, so that those cases will be avoided.
According to the case study's findings, overcrowding in electrical room is a severe risk that can result in mishaps, injuries, and business interruption. Companies and organizations that run electrical rooms have to take precautions against the overcrowding. Businesses and organizations may assist to minimize overcrowding in electrical rooms and lower the danger of electrical fires, injuries, and fatalities by implementing guidelines. Businesses and organizations may be significantly impacted by these outcomes, which may also include property damage, accidents and fatalities, production interruptions, and monetary losses. Businesses and organizations may assist in establishing a safe and risk-free environment for their employees and consumers by implementing the above discussed measures. Maintaining clean, debris-free electrical rooms, avoiding overloading electrical circuits, installing the proper safety equipment such as fire extinguishers and arc flash protection, and training staff on electrical safety practices are the additional tips or measures to minimize the overcrowding in electrical rooms. And that is all for our case study presentation. Thank you for watching.